What's up, guys? Justin Morgan here, Carved Up Vegan Muscle. And this week I had a few people ask about how I fixed something back a few years ago when I was having on a video that I had posted here on YouTube, and I was having a lot of knee collapse. My knees, as I was squatting, were collapsing in on each other, and I was really trying to fix this. I didn't really know what to do. It seemed like a big issue at the time, and looking back on it, it really wasn't as big of a deal as I was making it out to be. But I wanted to give you guys just a few tips on what it was that I did to fix that. And the number one thing that I would recommend that you do is keep squatting. Squat often, squat all the time, 3 times a week. When you're not squatting, on days where you're off, you're not working out, squat, just with your body weight. Spend a lot of time in that lower position, just squatted down on the ground. When you're watching TV, squat down, sit there, get comfortable, get strong, get stable in that bottom position. Because one problem that I think that I had that wasn't even necessarily related to strength or any of that, one of the factors in that anyways, was that I just wasn't very stable in the bottom part of my squat. So if you're not stable down there when you're just sitting down on the ground without any weight on, you don't feel comfortable going down in that bottom position, then you're probably not going to be very stable coming out of it, and you're going to be more likely to experience janky things happening with your body coming up out of the bottom of the squat. So that would be the number one thing. There's fuzz floating around me. Alright, now the next thing is, that's actually 2 things: squat frequency and then getting more comfortable in the bottom. If it's a really big problem that you're having with your knees caving in, then I would probably take some of the weight off. Reduce the weight down to something that's more manageable for you to squat regularly until you build up the strength. There's a lot of things about your in your back, your erectors, as far as your legs go. There's muscles in your abductors and those types of things that can be weak. That might cause something like that, but you know what? Just squatting more frequently will make those stronger. So just keep squatting, deadlifting, doing things like that, and they will, I promise you, get squatter. But now this was a big help for me, this last bit of advice I want to give you, and that is that I kept seeing, like the guys from Westside Barbell. I live in Ohio, and I'm about an hour south of Columbus, Ohio, which is where Westside Barbell is located. Louis Simmons, very big on geared powerlifting. And all those guys take an ultra-wide stance. And what I didn't know at that time was that had a lot more to do with the fact that they were wearing gear and that they didn't have to squat as deep to get below parallel as what I was. So, if you're taking a more wider stance and you're trying to squat really deep, you're going to have problems in that. And I didn't necessarily put that connection together back a few years ago when I didn't have a lot of experience or education in exercise science and that kind of thing. So that is definitely a big factor, is how your stance is. If you're having a lot of problems with your knees caving in, I would probably take a more narrow stance. It doesn't have to be ultra narrow, but it's definitely, bringing your feet closer together can be of a big help in terms of fixing that issue. In fact, if you're kind of more of a beginner or intermediate lifter, I've heard like Mark Bell and a few other coaches recommend that you do go ahead and just take a narrow stance regardless of what it is, because they feel that those lifters progress better and learn the lifts better while in that. And if you're an intermediate lifter, you're pretty strong already, so that's definitely something to consider. You guys take it easy, and if you have any other questions or comments or anything that comes up that I see, I'd love to make videos on it. Remember, if you haven't already, to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Keep up with the videos. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you next time.